I know for a fact that my business has just gone through the roof for this reason at all. So whether you're brand new or whether you've been doing it for a while, I think that we think inviting posts are enough, but it just isn't. It's just half of the business. So half of this business, if you really want to be successful, is sharing your journey publicly, which I do through mostly my Instagram stories, which I've seen so much success in that. And I think that a lot of it creates a little bit more engagement. And the other 50% I'm realizing is personal invites. And there's a very specific way to do it that I have learned, and I'm excited to share it with you guys. So it's important to create like curiosity. So as you know, I never really say, hey, I'm doing like a Beachbody workout or I'm doing 80-day obsession. It's the 80-day program. It's, you know, a superfood shake. It's not Shakeology. That's kind of the curiosity. It makes people want to be like, what is that? I want to hear more about that. Creating continuity with just different followers. And that basically just means showing that you are in this journey for a long time and you're sticking with it. That is 50%, right? But what a lot of people don't know is that not everybody is seeing your posts. Like Instagram, the algorithm is crazy. Basically, it knows what you are looking at consistently, and it puts up posts that they think that you will like. And also between timing, people's work schedules, some people just are not seeing it. People really are looking at Instagram stories more than actual Instagram, really more than ever. So the other half of achieving your goals is Success Club. And Reagan, you know, Success, you might know this, so I'm just calling you out. Success Club is basically helping 3 people a month, brand new people a month. And that should always be your goal. And it really hasn't been until the last 6 months that I've made that a specific goal of mine. Usually I'm just kind of like, whatever comes my way. But I do see now that hitting Success Club, that's first of all where you make money, because those 3 people each month, usually I make sure that those 3 people have the best experience ever so that they continue. So the next month I have 6 people that are buying from me. The next month I have 9 people that are buying from me. So that's kind of how your business builds when you really just focus down to helping 3 people a month. And that also kind of pays for your Shakeology and then some, especially if people continue to buy from you. So the way that you hit Success Club is through what I'm about to tell you right now. So I've created some slides on exactly what to do, how to reach different markets, how to do all kinds of things. Okay, here we go. Sharing my screen. Do y'all see my little PowerPoint?
Kind of. Like, is it black?
No, hold on. Kind of, she says. Now do you see it?
Yeah, we can see it.
Yes.
Okay, perfect.
It works, yep.
So first of all, just a couple of and I'll post this for you guys, a couple of small tips to share with you. First of all, keep it simple. KISS method, keep it simple. It's supposed to be keep it simple, stupid. And now my dad is all about affirmations. And he's like, no, it's keep it stupid, you know, smarty or something. But basically we live in a world right now, like a social media world that likes quick information, right? Like Instagram stories, they are so quick. They're like boom, boom, boom. People don't want overloaded information. And I want you to think about kind of, hold on a second. Okay, yeah, so people just want short, sweet, simple information. That's kind of where curiosity and marketing comes with. It makes people just kind of lean in a little bit more. The next thing to think about is to connect first, okay? You would never walk up to somebody in the grocery store and say, hey, I don't know if you've seen what I've been doing, but I've been doing Beachbody workouts and I really think you should do it. So you walk up to someone in the store, you see that they're looking at Ezekiel bread and you're like, oh my gosh, that Ezekiel bread is the kind I buy. Like what, type do you buy? Maybe we buy the same bread. You start with a connection, right? I think y'all saw the post that literally that girl sent me a novel, and I literally had no idea who she was. And I'm like, how to not do something is this right here. So just think about connecting to somebody. Just because we're in between a computer screen doesn't mean that we don't need to connect on a common ground. And once you kind of have like a ha 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 moment, that's when you can kind of move on and dig in a little bit deeper. So the templates, the quotes that I'm about to show you, they're totally just templates. You know, don't get stuck on them. You are going to have a totally different voice than me. And so I just want to help you get started right. Also, people can sense your feelings, right? If you are 100% behind the product and you know the value of this product, which I totally do, that comes across in your messages. People follow enthusiasm. And enthusiasm, it cannot be faked. People can totally sense when it's faking. And think about this, like when you're inviting someone to your party, are you going to invite them and say, hey, I'm having a party. I don't really know how many people are going to come, and there's probably not going to be music, and it's going to cost you gas money to get there, but you should still come. No, that's not how you invite somebody to a party. You say, hey, I'm having an awesome party. It is going to be amazing. You are not going to want to miss it. So think about the enthusiasm that you would kind of say inviting someone to a party. Act like you're talking to your BFF. That's kind of what I've been doing lately. And I can tell people feel so connected. I've seen so much more engagement in my Instagram lately. And it's truly because I talk to people like they're my bestie and like I would just say anything, you know, because we kind of live in a world that's a lot of exclamations and emojis and LOLs and GIFs and just funny things right now. And so I've kind of been doing a little bit more of that, and it's helped me a lot. Be careful of the language that you use. Not a lot of people know what a challenge package is or what an accountability group is, and they don't know what acronyms mean. So explain the value of a challenge pack. And so Reagan, I think because you have two R's, it gets my head mixed up. Reagan, so a challenge pack is basically what you purchase. It's Beachbody On Demand Annual All Access, and it's Shakeology. And so finding the value, because people will be like, I just want Shakeology. I'm like, well, Shakeology is $120. You could get Beachbody On Demand and Shakeology and the whole experience for $160. It makes more sense. So just helping them understand the value of that. And we can go into that a little bit later. Fill your messages with life. Like I said, enthusiasm is key. Listen way more than you're talking, like way more. Ask what they are wanting. Ask what their goals are. Ask what post or what Instagram story brought them. Give content, give help, and then ask questions. It doesn't need to be complicated. It's just like, hey, have you heard of this before? Have you done this before? What are you currently doing right now? Does it sound like something that you would be interested in? That's kind of a way that you ask questions. Think about the people, like if you do go to a party, which, you know, me, I'm all about some parties. Just kidding. The person that like does not stop talking and you're like, oh my gosh, someone come save me. Like, I'm so sick of talking to this person. You don't want to be that person, right? We want to be people that are fun to hang out with. Honestly, people only care about themselves. So the more you let them talk about themselves, the more they're going to like you. Just life advice and business advice. So here are some warm market kind of invites that feel a little bit different than cold market. So warm market is essentially any connection that you have with somebody. So it could be a first degree connection to a third degree connection. Dominica, I went to high school with her 10 years ago. Have not even talked. I mean, I couldn't tell you last time I talked to her, but so that to me is like a third degree connection, right? Let's go to my program. I know Sarah from church. That's a third degree connected. Reagan, I don't know you at all, so you were my cold market. But I'm so glad I know you now. But the warm market is the easiest place to start, especially as a brand new coach. So write a list of people that you, and you know, I kind of asked you to do this in the beginning, but that you think would benefit from the program, whether it's the Shakeology workouts or the business opportunity. Literally 90% of my business this month has been just talking to people and inviting them, getting them interested. So Sarah, I saw that you liked my post. Thank you so much for supporting me on this journey. You have no idea how much this means to me. Sometimes it's hard to put yourself out there, but how can I not share this, you know? Sarah ended up responding and saying, yeah, I'm not even really sure what it is. Tell me a little bit more about it. Boom, that was the segue of me just talking to her, and she ended up being a client. Angel, I call everybody Angel. Angel, I saw your comment on my post about my challenge group or my program. Were you interested in getting some details or just supporting? Totally cool either way. This takes the pressure off, right? When you're saying, hey, you can either get details or you can support. I usually do this whenever I do a poll on my Instagram stories that is like, want to hear more or maybe later. If anyone, voted they want to hear more, that's kind of when I go in and I'm like, hey, thanks so much for voting that you wanted to hear more. Are you just supporting me or do you want to hear more details? Hi Lab, I saw you watched my coaching Instagram story and it's actually really funny because I think you would be perfect. I'm not gonna lie, you've been on my perfect coach list for a long time. I can remember us joking about how hard it is to get to the gym sometimes. I found a way to get a workout in no matter what. I saw you like my post today, or I saw you watch my Instagram story today. That's what I was talking about. It would be so fun to do together, right? And what this does right here, this basically just says, hey, I don't really know all the details, don't really know what's kind of going on, but this is what I'm doing, and I want you to do it along with me. And also something to remember that the biggest factor in this business is action, whether it's good action, bad action, the wrong action, whatever, is the fact that you are taking action and moving forward. Because some of my invites, they have gone south really, really fast. And then some have been awesome. But the point is that I'm learning from the good, and I'm also definitely learning from the bad. Okay, this is when I say yes. Can I have more info / how do I get started? So this is kind of what I've been saying. I pulled these straight from my Instagram messages today. Or last night. OMG, I always say it. See, this is like the friend aspect of me. I would say OMG to a friend, OMG, I'm so glad that you asked. I use a tool that helps me do what I love. It's called Beachbody. Have you heard of it? 9 times out of 10, someone might say like, oh yeah, actually I have heard of it. I did 21 to 46 years ago. Like I have the DVDs and everything. And I'm like, oh, well, things aren't even on DVDs anymore, and it's totally different in the way I do it. I really like to focus on personal development, and a lot of times these girls, they don't really have accountability, and I think we know that that is a huge aspect in this program. The only requirements for the group would be to do a workout program of your choice, all streamed. I would help you choose Shakeology, which is superfood, and a support group in me, and accountability, which is free 99. I thought that was fun. But I think that this also kind of takes the pressure off, like, hey, there are so many options for you to make this a great lifestyle. Like, here are some of the basic requirements. It's important to kind of keep things simple. I went to the doctor. This is kind of a good way to think about it. I went to the doctor and I was getting eye drops, and she kept prescribing me like the name brand eye drops that were like so expensive. And I was like, oh my gosh, I just want the generic. So I went to the pharmacist and I'm like, hey, can I just get the generic version of this eye drop? And she's like, yeah, but you have to get it approved by your doctor. And so I called my doctor, I went back and I was like, hey, I just want to pay $15 a month instead of $150 a month. Why can't I just have the generic? And she literally went on this and this and this and this and this, all these specifics. And I was like, literally, I just needed 3 things, or I just needed like one thing. Like, hey, not one product can cure everything or has everything that you possibly need, but I really believe this one is the best for you. And that would have been way more easier for me to understand and kind of get on board with than her da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. So just try to keep it simple. KISS method, remember. So also basically what we do in this group is help motivate, inspire, give information in a place where you can actually check in to see if you're staying on track. We also dive into personal development to improve your mental growth. That's a great one. It is game changing. It helps me with my meals. I don't really like to cook, but I obviously want to be fit. It helps me create a plan and stay on track. So this girl in particular, she was telling me how she didn't like to cook. And honestly, I don't really know anybody unless you're like a huge foodie that loves to cook, right? And so I just kind of connected with her on that way. And I just want to help you remember that this business is totally a long-term opportunity. I was telling Reagan earlier that, you know, this business, it's something that you put a lot of time in on the front end, but over time you kind of have people that work on your behalf, right? And you build that. And I could honestly go on a week and not do a single thing in my business, and I would still make money every single week. And so it's something that you're just kind of creating conversation, even though if people like are like, hey, I'm not so sure anymore, this is when you just say, that's cool. Stay in their life and stay in their relationship. No is not never. That is for sure. Okay, so now we're going to go on to the cold markets. This is a little bit harder, but I have a really cool example that actually happened this morning that I want to share with you guys. So the way I have been finding cold markets, I really love working with girls that are kind of coming out of college because they're moving into a new season of life. They don't really know like what their schedule looks like. They just need this to be a part of their life. They can't be thinking about being healthy. It just needs to be ready for them to go, right? Which is what I love about Beachbody is that it takes the planning out of it, right? The meal plans, the workouts, you just get up, you press play, and you do it. So I love working with girls graduated from college or like newly engaged, newly married, all of that. So I hashtag certain things that other people in my niche market might be hashtagging too. So currently, I'm hashtagging like college graduate, Athens, Georgia, UGA, you know, all these different colleges, and hoping to see some girls that kind of look like me and kind of look like we're on the same level, same page, and I'll follow them. I know that's so creepy. It really is so creepy, but it has helped me so much. As I grow older, I might hashtag like new mom, like pregnant, whatever that may be, but my business will grow with me. That doesn't mean my college girls can't be clients with me one day, but I'm just kind of focusing on my niche market right now. Add people on social media, follow people on Instagram, and hoping that they follow you back. There are a couple of small activities that you can do every day. So if they follow you or you add them, you can send them a message to just connect. So I might just say like, hey, like, thanks so much for following me and joining me on my journey. I love your dress that you have in your picture. Excited to have you on my feed, period. Don't say anything else. They might connect to you and they might not, but that's totally fine. Like I said, just a human connection. Consistently talk about what you're doing every single day. As they start to follow you and know you, they'll start to see your web of communication and know what you're all about. So for me, like my web of communication is, you know, personal development. I'm always talking about that. I feel like wiener dogs are now a part of my personal development, or not personal development, but a part of my web of communication. 90s music and, you know, being healthy. Those are kind of like my things that people will come back to and tell me about. The thing that happened to me today is, you know, I posted on my Instagram story, I said, hey, send me your email if you want my book list or my podcast list. I got a ton of messages asking for my email, and a lot of people that I don't follow. So if I don't follow them, they have to request to message me, and I have to accept their request. So one girl messaged me, I accepted her request. I went to her profile, I followed it, and then her first picture was like dirt, like they were about to build a house, and the location was Roswell, Georgia, and I love Roswell, I really do. So I just messaged her, it's like, hey, I'm so happy to send you my list. Are you building a house in Roswell? I love Roswell, like that is so awesome. And she's like, yeah, my fiance and I are moving back from Chicago, and we are getting married in September. I was like, oh my gosh, so exciting, that'll be here before you know it. She said, yeah, I've been thinking about wanting to message you and ask you for a meal plan. And that's kind of so we're currently messaging and just having a conversation going. And that's where I just kind of come from, like, oh, cool. What are you currently doing? What are you currently eating? And just to hear a little bit more about her. Now, I want you to think about you on social media, especially, I mean, I know for me, like when I first started being on Instagram, I would never message anybody and ask for more information, just especially a random person. If it was somebody I knew, that's totally different. But if it was a random person, I would never, ever, ever, ever message them, ever. I was just there for kicks and giggles, for entertainment. So think about the people that you used to be, right? And so there are some people that want to know more, but they're just shy and they're just scared. There are plenty of people that I've messaged before and they're like, hey, thank you so much for messaging me because I have been terrified to message you. I've been wanting to. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And so when you look at it like, oh my gosh, I'm giving them like an act of service almost by being able to give them this opportunity of awesome health and an awesome lifestyle, like that is something I don't want people to miss out on, right? Another huge way to invite in your cold market is to give compliments. Oh my gosh, my dad always says that you should have a huge bag with you at all times, like Santa Claus, filled with compliments and genuine compliments like, oh my gosh, Renee, I love watching your Instagram stories. And I say that because you're so fun, you're so bubbly, and you're so cute to watch. And I love watching your dog, right? Those are all specific things that I really love watching about you. And so you know that that is genuine. That's genuinely coming from me rather than like, oh my gosh, I love watching your Instagram stories, right? It's totally different. And so now let's go into when you've sent one invite and they haven't responded or they've said no. This one's kind of scary. But you just have to remember that when people don't respond, that doesn't necessarily mean anything. People don't check their messages like me, the crazy coach, does. I'm like always checking my messages. Everyone's different, right? And also remember, it takes at least 7 to 8 times for someone to hear or see something and actually consider it. There are so many people that have been following me for, a year now, and they just now are like, hey, what's that pre-workout that you're using? I'm just curious. And that's where you start a conversation. Oh my gosh, this is what it is. What are you currently using? What are you doing for your workouts? Tell me a little bit about your meal plans. Just talking them up just a little bit. And not necessarily with a goal of having a closed sale, but more of like a goal of like, I just want to get to know her, right? That people feel that genuine. So, hey girl, I see you read my message, and if you aren't into it anymore, no worries at all. Just let me know either way so I can open up another spot in my program. Either way, totally up to you. Again, this is taking the pressure off, and this makes it feel like that somebody else is in line, and like it's not all about you, it's more about the other person that's right behind you, and so that's going to make them want to answer. Hey, love, I know last month you were focused on paying your Christmas credit card. Ugh, how does Christmas sneak up on me every single year? Just wondering if that is all taken care of. I know how stressful that can be. Just checking in with somebody, seeing how they're doing, and just reminding them, hey, I'm still here. I'm still here. Hey, Angel, we are having a holiday program start. I know last month wasn't a great time for you, but these girls are excited, and I think this vibe would be so good for you. How are things? And so this is, it does have to be a right season of life for people. It cannot just be, somebody that just isn't ready. Because then they're not going to execute well and they're not going to have a good experience. And it's just so important that people have great experiences because you want awesome fans, right? And so just checking in with people that you've talked to in the past and it wasn't a good time for them. I have a whole list of people that I kind of write their name. I write the date that I've talked to them, a little bit about our conversation, if they said yes, if they said no, and why they said no. And then every week I kind of follow up with them according to my notes. So that's a really good thing to start as you are kind of building a business. And then this is how to invite someone after you've added them to your friends list or you followed them on Instagram. So, hey girl, I wanted to reach out after I sent you a random friend request. Haha, I'm a doxy mom. This is so embarrassing. I really said this. I'm a doxy in Facebook groups. Okay, I'm not ashamed for that. It's where I can unashamedly post pics of my dog. I feel like Reagan gets that, so we are in the same boat. Hey girl, I want to reach out after I sent you a random friend request. I am a Doxy mom, and I saw your name in the Doxy Facebook group, and you look so cute. I related to your message about how your Doxy has to potty in the middle of the night. It sucks right now, but hopefully they will grow out of it. Haha. Anyway, when they have another Doxy mom to be on my timeline. Smiley face. Just a way to connect. You are so fun to follow. You look amazing in your maternity shoot. I was cracking up at your Instagram story of your dog. Mine does the same thing. Good to have you on my timeline. Again, just making that initial connection, which is so important. Hey Morgan, happy Thursday. I want to reach out and say thank you for following me and showing love on my post. It's hard to push myself out. I said this a lot just to show like the vulnerable side of me. It's hard to put myself out there sometimes, but I have support from people like you that means the world to me. You seem like a cool chick, and I'm looking forward to seeing more of your fun posts too. Anyway, thanks again, and I hope your week is going well. And then my last one, I just sent this to somebody, one of my current clients. I was like, hey, I'm obsessed and I legit creeped all over your Instagram story. Oops. I love how determined you are to living a healthy lifestyle. Are you a coach? And that is kind of like, you already post like a coach. You might as well, you might as well, be a coach if you're posting like one. So yeah, that's kind of what I had. I cannot even tell you, this is when I've been so unbelievably consistent with this. It has been like night and day, and I'm like so passionate about it that I had to share some of my actual insights that I've been sending. Is that helpful for y'all at all?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Does that sound like super scary to do?
I think it's kind of scary, like the posting on Instagram. I don't do a lot of that already, like fitness wise, I guess.
Totally. That's exactly how I was. That's why I started a new Instagram, because I felt like Macy Daily Wellness versus my personal one, because I felt like the people that were going to follow me were going to be behind me, right? Like currently in my personal one, I have people from 15 years ago that I don't even talk to anymore. And I'm just like not comfortable with that. I don't know why. It's a mental thing, I think. But when I kind of create a new one and I've built my own like tribe of people that I know are behind me, I was like, they're like my best friends. I don't even care. So that has really helped my mental state, because that's exactly how I was. I was just posting like cute pics of my dog, So social media was definitely not something that I did a lot before this. And now it's like, skirt, new way of thinking about it. So maybe that's helpful for you. Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, I think so.
Good.
Do you give people samples of Shakeology sometimes?
That's a great question. Yeah, it's a great question. So I have lots of samples, but I actually charge $5 for them. And it's not for the money. It's genuinely because I want people to have skin in the game, or feel like that it's worth something, that it's valuable. Because like if you get a sample of perfume at the mall, you end up throwing it away, right? You don't care about it. But if you pay $5 for that perfume sample, you'd be like, oh my gosh, I want to use this. Like, and I want to really use it for special occasion. Like you would take care of it, right? So for that reason, it's mostly just like, hey, I want you to find value in this, and not necessarily just like throw it in your pantry, because it is really valuable. So that's good. It depends. But so my speaking event, I gave Shakeology away because they kind of showed me support. So it was a little bit of they're already in, and they already saw me and who I am. So they were a little bit more in on that. That's helpful. Any other questions? Reagan, are you like, what's happening?
No, I think I'm done.
Yeah, you made sense?
Yeah, I think I have like 30 more videos to go back and watch.
Oh my gosh, I know, right? I'm sorry. Just take it one day at a time. Like I said, this is a long-term business for sure. Like I feel like I'm just now seeing the fruits of my labor. And I'm like so fired up by it, because I'm like, whoa, in 5 years, like just being consistent, I can't even imagine where it could go. And I feel like that this is the time, if you're going to set yourself up well, now is the time. We're all young. We all hopefully got a little extra time in our back pocket that we can kind of set us up well for success for the future, right? Yeah.
Yeah. How long have you guys been selling, like coaching? Sarah?
I just started in December, so super
Yeah.
new also.
Same right here, December.
So we're all like kind of the same.
Yeah, exactly. So
Yeah.
Sarah definitely signed up more of like discount coach. I'm just like, right, Sarah? Would you agree with that?
Yeah, I did.
So I'm just pulling you in just so you can just kind of see a little bit more about and that's how I started too. I was just like a discount coach. Dominica was a client of mine and she saw the incredible potential. She went and researched it on her own. And she came to me and she said, hey, I see the potential of this. Like, how do I get in? And so
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, so I'm already in sales, and so when I saw this and like I signed up as a discount coach, I was like, there's no reason for me not to do this because I already like I'm going to be talking about it and telling people how much I love it, and I might as well get a discount and get some like residual benefits from it.
Yeah, absolutely. And as I was telling Reagan, like the way you initially start making money is just by signing people up and selling Shakeology. That's how, but the building, when you actually build a business is when you have kind of coaches underneath you. And that's how you kind of reap rewards down the road. So, and that, again, it takes time and it just takes a little bit of action, right? Good, bad, or, negative action. It's still moving forward either way. Okay, cool. Any other questions? Dominica, you looked like you were about to say something.
No, I mean, I guess I was just going to say that I created that like Instagram, like you suggested, like a brand new one. And I was really surprised that I posted like twice and I already got like 30 followers. And those were just my practice posts. And I was like not wanting people to follow me. And then people started following me and I was like, oh no, like this is too much. But I'm going to keep posting and then hopefully people will just keep like, coming to train.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. People crave fitness. Like people want to be healthy.
Yeah.
People don't understand.
Yeah.
I always say we live in a microwave world and in a crock pot reality. Like people want results,
right.
like this. And they crave like the instant gratification of watching someone's Instagram story. But that's where you come in as the coach and you're like, hey, reality, you have to work for it. And that's where you walk with it.
Right.
So yeah, are y'all? I know Reagan isn't doing 80-day obsession, but are y'all enjoying it?
Yes. Oh my gosh, I love it.
I love it too. I feel like Sarah is Autumn's biggest fan. I love it.
I am. Honestly, like I wake up in the mornings. It's my favorite part of the day. Like I love it.
Me too. See, and you're a raving fan. You genuinely are like, this has value, right? Mm-hmm. This would be if you just got consistent, you'd be like, it would be so easy for you because you're raving.
Yeah, I could definitely see myself doing something like that, but it just is like a little bit scary to like do it, the whole thing. But definitely like I have been drinking my Shakeology, around people and they ask about it. And then I usually am like, oh, it's Beachbody. And they don't actually know a lot about Beachbody. So I'm like P90X and people always know what that is. So I'm like, that's the company that did that. So I'm able to talk about it with people. But I realize like when I'm talking to people, I would like to be able to be like, hey, do you want to try it? But I get like the big bags of Shakeology and I'm not going to give them like a plastic bag of powder. So I was like, maybe I should get some single serves just to like let people try it.
Sure.
And my family, it's really funny because I was home for Christmas break and I've always tried to eat like kind of healthy. So they make fun of me. Like when I'm home, I cook for everybody, for my whole family, because they don't cook very much, but it's always healthy food. So they make fun of me. But I have seen them, like it inspires them to change too. So like my brother would come home and be like, guess what? I ate vegetables today. And he would be excited about it instead of making fun of me about it. Okay. So then when I left on Sunday, we were out to lunch and my family was like, okay, like give us a meal plan, tell us what to do to work out and stuff. So they're like, you can train us until our cruise in May, which we're going on. So I love that. That's really exciting. My mom and my sister have tried Shakeology and they don't love it because of stevia. My mom is like, she can taste anything in there that's not like real sugar, I guess. Uh-huh. So they don't love it. And I've like, it's a conversation we're having continually because I love it. So
is stevia on the back though?
Sorry?
I don't think stevia is in it.
I think it might be.
Okay, I need to look.
Or there's like some taste that she can taste that's like not sugar. You know, it's like a sweetener, like a not sugar.
There's no
Like the
artificial
beet sugar?
technology.
Well, I think there's not artificial sweeteners, but there's not like a natural plant-based sweetener in it.
Okay, maybe I need to look into that.
I mean, I know there's beet sugar in it, right?
Yeah, but it's not. There's no artificial sweetener.
Yeah.
Yeah, I knew there wasn't artificial, but I thought there was stevia, which then we had a whole conversation about stevia, and I was looking up a lot of research about it because my sister, who's a nurse, she was saying how she doesn't think that stevia is good for you. And so I was like pushing her. I'm like, why do you think that? Like, give me your research that you did. And she was like, actually, I just feel that way. Like, I have no research to back it up. So I was like, okay. So then I was doing research, and like, they still need to do a lot more research. Like, we don't know because it's actually relatively new. That like the FDA approved it, I think, in like 2010.
Yeah.
So it's new to like the U.S. eating wise.
Sure.
But so far, like, it seems to be really healthy stevia. So I was like, okay, I'm okay with this.
Yeah,
But they don't like it because of taste, they say.
Okay, yeah. But I think that I think next week I might do a whole like call on Shakeology and the points that I